remain strongly connected, and he continues to occupy a very special place in my heart. He is caring but not very expressive and lives in his bundle of science and astrophysics, along with stars, brown dwarfs, black holes, and other entities. The only gift that I can really and truly give him is this book, a dear and precious part of me. Chapter 1. A Tale of Many Tales. Every person's life is a unique story. Usually, the story becomes famous only after a person receives recognition in ways that matter to the world. If you peep into what lies deep inside, it is the changes he or she has gone through, subtle changes that the world may never understand. Most people undertake an arduous journey full of highs and lows that helps them modify and create new perspectives, thus forming a better understanding of the world and realizing the fact that real passion is much more beautiful than the pinnacle of their accomplishments. Ironically, life appears to be barren and aimless to some achievers even after they reach a big goal. Recently, I received the Lifetime Achievement Award from Crossword Books at Mumbai's Royal Opera House. The categories were unraveled on stage one by one: fiction, non-fiction, and children's, among others. The jury members gave insights into their strategies and opinions, and my mind went back to the beginning of my literary journey. I am not a student of literature. I did not pursue a degree in the subject, but literature has always fascinated me. I belong to a family of teachers where books are treasured, and I was inclined towards books at a very young age. I grew up in a village where the medium of communication was the local language, Kannada. Mine was a Kannada medium school. Sometimes, a makeshift theatre under a tent would showcase Kannada movies. There were barely any radio stations either. After we finally did get a radio at home, it was monitored closely by the older members of the family who limited its use to Kannada programs only. But as kids, we all have our ways. When the elders weren't at home, I would listen to Radio Ceylon and one of its popular shows called Binaka Geetmala. I even recall Sri Lanka's national anthem, Namo Namo Mata, which often played on that station. Other than that, there was no trace of English in my childhood. But there was plenty of time to figure out my creative outlets. My family frequently went for small day trips, temple visits, wedding-related events, picnics, or a visit to a historical site. As soon as we would return home and settle for the evening, my mother would insist, "Now sit and write about your day. You may not remember tomorrow what you have seen today, and writing is a wonderful exercise for your tiny fingers and young minds." I almost always resisted her instructions. Sitting in one place after an exciting day didn't sound like a lot of fun, so I would respond, "I will write tomorrow." "That's fine. You can also have your dinner tomorrow then," my mother would say. This is how I was forced to sit and write. Once I began writing, I slowly but surely began to find it fun. I could play with combinations of the 52 letters in the Kannada alphabet and create meaningful words to express my feelings, joy, sadness, excitement, and anything else that I felt. Before long, writing became a fond habit. For many, many years, I wrote down my daily thoughts, at least 25 lines a day for 2 decades, not realizing that the process was inadvertently improving my expression and adding clarity to my ideas. For this, I owe gratitude to my first teacher, my mother. As a teenager, I began writing with a tinge of seriousness, a lot of adventure, and perhaps even a shade of romance. Modernity was the best thing there was, or so I thought. I wrote about Mozart and submitted the article to a local newspaper. When it appeared on a Sunday, I was ecstatic. I took the newspaper to school and shared the article with my teachers and classmates. My friends looked at me with awe, and I felt like I had really achieved something. It was very rare for women to get published in those days, and in that instant, I realized that I was possibly the only girl in school whose article had been picked up by a newspaper. Later, I wrote a romantic story and sent it to the same newspaper. Days passed, but I did not receive a reply. So I sent a reminder to the editor with a prepaid stamp.